What's up, everybody? My name is Greg, host of the Rock Wrestling Podcast. Joining
Good
me
God, you
today,
fucking weeboo.
we got Ryan Duckaroo. Say hi, Ryan.
What the hell are you doing?
Also joining me today is Mikearoo. Say hello, Mikearoo.
Hello.
Hey, Vera. What's up, guys?
Sorry to our one Asian viewer.
You like shrimp fried rice?
You like shrimp fried rice? Yeah, guys, we're doing our TNA Slammiversary review show today. Before we start the podcast, I'd like you guys to remember to go tweet at us if you guys want to join us for our podcast. You want to be a guest, you want something to be plugged on our podcast, you know where to contact us, www.twitter.com/argwrestling.
If you want to give us money for us to plug that thing, that'd be nice too.
Money! And
I like Skittles. You can give me my check now.
Scott Dawson! And get Dylan! Money! Anyways, also I want you guys to go check out Senshudo.tv. That is S-E-N-H... I already fucked it up. SENSHUDO.tv. If you guys like New Legacy and you also like It's Raining Ming, it's the home of both of them. So go check out a bunch of great casters over there. Great community. Forums are absolutely amazing. We have our own subsection on the forums. I'm not sure if we ever said that on the podcast yet. If you guys want to talk with the Arc of Wrestling podcast, you can go check out the subsection over on Setjudo.tv's forums. So, guys, TNA Slammiversary just ended about 30 minutes ago. What a fucking Slammiversary it was, I guess.
It was a good show for what it was worth.
It was an alright show. The booking was terrible. The matches were fun. I guess, like, if you wanted to give a quickie review of Slammiversary, that is the best way to put it.
And that's a show tonight, everyone.
The best way to put Slammiversary was how a fan put it at the end of the show, after the big win of the main event. The camera pans to the audience, and two of the audience members sitting in the front row kind of just shrug and give a stupid-ass grin. It was the weirdest, like, no one really popped for that win, too. And that's kind of like the general feel of Slammiversary. It kind of just happened.
Let's be honest. They didn't pop for that win because was in that match.
What?
I'm not spoiling it till we get to that.
Oh yeah, because there's qualifying matches for that match. Forgot. Anyways, starting off TNA Slammiversary, we got the TNA X Division title ladder match. We have Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards versus Tigre Uno versus Crazy Tigre Uno.
It's Tigre.
Tigre Uno.
It's not Tigre.
The white guy correcting the Hispanic.
Stop being a strike and pronounce his name correctly.
Crazy Steve versus Manic versus Sonata. Crazy. Guys, how'd you like this match? Because I was asleep during this match.
I'm just saying, for a guy who's supposed to be crazy, he's not that crazy at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
During the match, the fans actually started to chant for Crazy Steve, so it looks like he's kind of getting over.
I don't know why he's that over.
Even though
he's crazy.
He's a crazy.
Is it because the Ben and Jerry is supposed to be this gimmick you're supposed to instantly love, like the oddities?
The Ben and Jerry's?
The Men and Jerry.
The Menagerie?
Yeah, how do you pronounce it?
You're making fucking fun of me for calling Tigre Uno.
That's because I legit didn't know how to say it. You're doing it intentionally.
I thought you were fucking saying Ben and Jerry's the ice cream shop.
I legit didn't know how to pronounce it. You're just going Tigre when it's not Tigre.
Crazy Steve. 31 flavors of ice cream.
I quit. I'm hitting on my computer right now.
How'd you guys like this match?
It was decent. Davey Richards is dead.
What happened to him?
Well, he got knocked off the ladder at the end into another ladder.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And that is what led Sonata to climb up and grab the title?
There was a sixth spot where they did the backstabber off the ladder.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Was
Good,
it?
good match to kind of go back and rewatch because I'm kind of interested in this.
I couldn't watch most of it because the Woo's stream was lagging like hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Then I had to switch to another stream.
Alright, well, Sonata wins. He is moving on to the X Division shows to possibly challenge Eric Young for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Wow, spoiler.
Well, it's not a spoiler yet, because we don't even know if he's going to fucking make it to that. Sonata could end up pulling a Dolph Ziggler and getting a fucking concussion. He looks like Dolph Ziggler. I don't know why he fucking wouldn't do it in the first place.
He looks nothing like Dolph Ziggler.
He is the Asian Dolph Ziggler.
He is not the Asian Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Sonata.
God. I apologize to all the Asians.
Dolph Sonata. What was his first name? He had a
Saida?
Saida Sonata? Yeah, something like that. So yeah. Winner, Sonata. We had a segment with MVP and Kenny King and Bobby Lashley. Was MVP in cast?
He was in crutches.
Ah, okay. The Dallas Cowboys are
I had no
in
idea.
the audience.
Really?
I had no idea the Dallas Cowboys were there.
The Dallas Cowboys were there. A couple of them. There was like 2 or 3. It's not like what you usually see on Raw, where like half the team is there.
There was actually
There's 4
4.
of them, and you could name none of them. Even a Dallas Cowboys fan couldn't name any one of them.
And they constantly pointed them out throughout the show. For no
As
fucking
in every
reason.
segment following this pointed them out.
They wanted you to know that the Cowboys were in the building.
Yeah.
If it were the Dallas Stars, they wouldn't have cared.
Oh,
So the
Dallas-
Cowboys so half the arena booed.
Or the Dallas Mavericks.
Do you think they went there intentionally? Like, do you think they actually wanted to see a TNA
Obviously,
show?
that's a thing that happened later on.
Did it?
No, I think they bought tickets and then when they got there, they were approached and asked about a certain segment. I don't think they went there just to be a part of the show.
Well, anyways, MVP ribs on the fucking Cowboys for some heat. King says that he's going to be serving up some whoop ass all night long, and there's no vegan recipe for that.
Oh!
You don't need to eat all this.
And then pretty much we get Joe versus Lashley for the second match of the night. How'd you guys like this one?
It was pretty decent for a big man match.
How did Lashley do?
What?
How did
Oh,
Lashley do?
he was saving energy the whole time. You could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything big, and Samoa Joe didn't do anything big to him because it was obviously just a energy saver match.
Okay.
They tried doing the ref bump at the end, where Joe crashed into Hebner,
Oh.
and then Lashley speared him. No, so anticlimactic.
I kind of wish they would have gone pretty stiff with this match. I would like to see a nice stiff match between these two.
Like Joe killing Lashley in the middle of the ring.
Like back and forth elbows to the face, like what they do in Japan.
This
For
isn't,
fuck's sake!
Strong style.
this isn't Japan.
Super strong style.
And
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
And Lashley is an MMA fighter.
I am still asking permission to just watch Japanese wrestling from now on.
No,
Because I want to...
no.
American wrestling sucks.
Well, we know it does, but
Except
no.
for PWG. Which
No,
reminds me, if you guys are buying the PWG, we sold our soul for rock and roll, I went to that show. Yeah, that's right, Mike. I went to a PWG show.
But you won't see him on there. Like his head does right now.
Because we were stuck near the bathrooms. Which was
Anyway.
Anyways, Bobby Lashley won. He is advancing to the main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Which I made a prediction the other day, which you can't hear because some douche didn't upload it.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
said if Joe would have won this, he would have won the title, but he didn't win,
Yeah.
sadly.
Super sad.
Is Joe ever gonna win ever again in his life?
I don't know. After getting injured, like right when he was about to get that big push, it kind of, that's usually like a dying call for a lot of wrestlers. Like right when you're getting pushed, you get injured. You don't really come back strong after that.
It was easily still at least a number 2 babyface in terms of fan reaction. You think they had to push him at some point?
You think like Joe was over big before he got injured. I mean, he was gonna fucking win the championship. He was gonna be the main event guy. Eric Young wasn't supposed to be in that position, I don't think. I think with Joe being injured and Eric Young's stupid fucking fishing show coming up at the same time, TNA just kind of saw it as extra publicity and wanted to put on Eric Young. I still don't like Eric Young as champion. Just because the man looks so fucking old and dirty and like...
And he talks like this.
He has those, he has like a fucking, smoker's voice. He fucking, his nipples look like fucking Chris Jericho's after like a bunch of steroid abuse. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Eric Young, you look like a fucking mess.
There's one upside to Eric Young's title reign. It's not as crappy as Chris Sabin's.
Chris Sabin's only lasted like 2 weeks.
It did.
So that's not really like putting it up against anything.
But Chris Sabin is better than Eric Young as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And deserved... Because Chris Sabin cashed in the title shot for that. Eric Young was just giving it after a gauntlet.
You'd think with the stipulation with the X Division belt that that TNA would start moving a lot of their X Division guys into the main event scene. Like, I think their main event scene right now should be fucking Joe and Aries.
Greg, you said a key term. You think with TNA, you think has been said a lot, and you think should be happening, but then TNA does the thing.
Like, if you want to put this big focus on the X Division and the next X Division champion could possibly be the next World Heavyweight Champion, why not have a former X Division champion as your fucking champion? Like, that would just make things a lot more interesting.
Technically, Eric Young was X Division champion.
Was he?
Technically.
What do you mean technically?
He won the belt at a pay-per-view, and they reversed it and gave it back to the champion that he beat.
Okay, well that doesn't fucking count.
I said technically.
Technically, that could suck my dick. Anyways, I just think Joe or Aries could have been great as champion going into the X Division tapings, because you really don't have any emphasis on the X Division belt except for what the division is right now. And considering that 2 of the guys in your X Division match tonight were an actual tag team, mind you, your tag team fucking champions, your X Division isn't doing so great.
And your X Division champion might not be here by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Really, because of contracts?
It's just how if there was a way to get the X Division over, it would either have Joe or Aries hold the belt, because then you could at least say, oh, Sonata is going against a former X Division champion. What is he gonna have to do? Pull out of his ass to overcome the odds or some shit like that. No, now you just have fucking Sonata and spoiler, Eric Young. Anyways, Jeremy Borash is up with the Carter family. Sweet. He says Janice and Bob are in the arena. Excited? Guys excited? For Janice and Bob Carter?
Yeah.
Who?
I think this is the first time they're watching the product since 2004.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Should we put any more money into this? That's what they were thinking.
We? Yeah. Oh, look, Dallas Cowboys are here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, okay, you can't be doing that, Brad. Magnus versus Willow. Mike, since I know you're such a big Willow fan.
Isn't that how his laugh goes?
That was the best imitation I've ever heard of his laugh, Mike.
Oh, is it?
You should get a fucking Oscar for that.
I should, and then I'll burn it.
So, Mike, Magnus, Willow.
Your typical Jeff Hardy match. Nothing too special.
Nothing too special?
Oh, except for the ending where Abyss and Bram get involved.
Yeah.
British Gunner.
And then that finish happened, and it confused the ever-loving fuck out of me. Because Jeff Hardy was going for like the Willow. Oh no, Jeff Hardy. Who am I kidding? And he was going for the whisper and win, and Magnus hit the ropes, but Jeff Hardy didn't actually fall, and they just stood there for a second, and then Magnus hit his finisher.
Okay, I want to say something really quick because I'm reading through this match, and during this it says Abyss backed Bram up the ramp with Janice, and this is coming after reading that Janice and Bob are in the fucking arena. So the only thing that was going through my mind was Abyss had like abducted Janice for no fucking reason and was swinging her at Bram. So yeah, if you don't know, Janice is Abyss's barbed wire 2x4.
No, Neil is a Neil hidden 2x4 thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever the fuck.
It's a board with nails sticking out.
Oh yeah, not barbed wire nails. Yeah.
I think he's only hit no one with.
He's hit people with it.
He hasn't like hit, I mean he's hit people more in like the gut. But he's kind of rubbed it against some other people's like foreheads a couple times back in the day. He doesn't really use it anymore.
You can't really do anything with that because
it's dangerous.
It's fucking nails.
It's dangerous.
It's way too dangerous. I think the only people...
Now, if he went to CCW...
I think the only people he's ever hit people with it are, like, people who actually have, like, clothing on. Like, Bully Ray, I think he's hit it once before with it.
I think I only ever remember him technically hitting RVD with it, but you never actually saw him hit him.
Yeah, like, sometimes Abyss can be really careful with that thing. Anyways... Magnus runs into an elbow in the ring, but knocks Willow off balance on the top rope. Magnus nails his finisher for the win, out of nowhere.
That summary confused me more than the actual finisher did.
Yep, that's Lords of Pain for you. Coming up with shitty play-by-plays since whenever the fuck they were created. Magnus wins. After the match, Bram comes back and celebrates with Magnus. Abyss runs out to the ring with Janice, but everyone leaves. Abyss stares down Magnus and Bram while Willow recovers. I'm guessing we're now just gonna have Abyss versus Magnus.
Abyss and Willow versus Magnus and Bram.
Something like that.
Probably Destination X.
It's making me sick to my stomach. JB is in the ring and he brings out TNA Hall of Famer Kurt Angle to make an announcement on the next Hall of Famer. And Angle comes out to a big pop. Angle comes out to the ring and big USA chants break out. He thanks the fans and thanks the board of directors, lol, for allowing him to make an announcement. Angle says, reaching the TNA Hall of Fame means you've reached a level of greatness that's respected by everyone in the bag and all the fans. I can't say this with a fucking straight face. Angle says he's grateful. A big thank you Kurt chant starts, and Angle says that he's not retired yet, so don't thank him now. Angle introduces the next TNA Hall of Famers, and out comes Team 3D. Wow.
ECW, I mean, WWE.
We were speculating in the developed podcast that I did not put up of who could possibly be the TNA Hall of Famer that TNA could possibly. And I think we did bring up Team 3D, Bubba and Devon. But I don't think we really believed that Devon was going to go back to TNA for that. Right, Mike?
He even said in his promo he wasn't going to come back.
Yeah, like I wasn't really expecting Devon, to be completely honest. I would have probably seen Bully Ray, but you know that's kind of surprising.
But
What?
what?
What do you guys think is gonna come out of this? Is Bully gonna continue wrestling even though he's
Yes.
now in a Hall of Fame?
Well, Angle and Sting were wrestling when they were Hall of Famers.
That's true.
I'm just wondering how many non-originals left do they have before they just have to induct someone who's original? Cough, cough, AJ.
Original? The only original they still have, I mean, they have a lot of originals, but they're still active wrestlers like Bobby Roode, James Storm, Samoa Joe, Eric Young. I could see Eric Young being in the Hall of Fame next year, to be completely honest.
Next year. Not next year, no.
If the whole argument that you have to be there from day one to get into the Hall of Fame, then Samoa Joe's not getting in. If you're gonna pull that card, then Samoa Joe's not gonna get in.
That card
because
can't be pulled
05.
because Kurt Angle wasn't there day one, and Sting wasn't there day one, and
I know, I'm
T3D
just
wasn't there
saying
day
that
one.
it just feels so weird that your Hall of Fame is based on what guys have done before more than what they've done in the TNA. Like, what the fuck has Sting done in TNA?
No, he's done a lot.
He's done a lot.
It's just that none of it was good.
And Sting was in TNA in 2003 like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah. TNA. You make me get a headache even reading your fucking results. Kenny King versus Austin Aries. I finally woke up for this match. Yeah, this was a match.
It was good. That's about it.
Oh, and my early fuck you goes to Lords of Pain for calling EC3 EC2. That's the best I could come up with. Okay, Kenny King, Austin Aries. What do you guys think? Nice solid match.
Yeah.
Nothing too, shocking.
Nope.
Yeah. Aries won.
It was a match.
Yeah, it was a match. Aries won with a sick brainbuster.
Off the top rope.
Off the top rope. That was.
Ishii take lessons.
Yeah. So Aries gets advanced to the main event. Kenny King is
Just goes away.
Yeah. More pointing out that the Dallas Cowboys are at ringside.
What?
Like at this point, they were just like pointing and saying, "Hey, look."
Hey, Greg, did you know the Dallas Cowboys are at ringside?
I did not. The Von Erichs. Yeah. The Von Erichs. So yeah, if you guys don't know, Ross and Marshall Von Erich, they made their debut on tonight's TNA Slammiversary. They've had little to none wrestling experience before this match. And saying that, it is exactly what you should expect for a match of two men who have barely any fucking wrestling experience.
It was better than the expectations. A little bit. Barely, kinda.
Marshall, which was the tall blonde guy, was wrestling barefoot, just like his father used to wrestle, which I fucking hate.
Barefoot wrestling.
He probably should. He's probably gonna have to be told by someone to stop doing that.
Unless he stays on the ground, unless he becomes good at mat wrestling.
Yeah, no.
Put some fucking boots on, kid. Don't fucking risk that. That's just an accident waiting to goddamn happen. Unless you're gonna be a skilled, ground wrestler, and you're gonna stay on the mat, and you're not really looking to do any big.
And he's too big to do that.
Yeah, and he's already too big to do that, anyways. His brother Ross is actually a lot smaller than him. But yeah, they wrestled Jesse Godzer and DJ Zima. Ion.
Where was Robbie E?
Probably fucking Brooke in the backstage.
Oh, okay.
Is that a good excuse?
Yes.
I can't wrestle this match. I'm gonna fuck Brooke's ass.
He And even Dixie's like, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, this was not that great of a match. Marshall blows. He tried, like, he kept on walking around with the claw in already set. Like, he wanted to hook it, like, multiple times during the match. Hook it, like, doesn't realize that's a fucking finisher.
Claw.
And even all the spots that he did were like, one of them was he was going after Zima Ion, and when Ion was like stuck in the corner, and Ion goes and like trips him into the turnbuckle, and Marshall just takes this stupid fucking bump that didn't even look good. Kind of just fell into the turnbuckle and jumped around a little bit. It was bad.
He actually jumped the turnbuckle.
He jumped over and moonsaulted over it. No, I don't know. Oh, wait, Marshall did hit a moonsault for the pin.
He did?
Yeah.
For a pin? What?
For a pin, yeah. Marshall hit a moonsault for a pin, but Jesse hits him with the chair for disqualification. And the winner is via disqualification to Von Erichs. JR was not happy with this finish. I don't fucking... Because Von Erichs...
Because Von Erichs.
Yeah, they're in Texas, and this is the Von Erichs, you know... They're in the Metroplex. This is where it all started for the Von Erichs. You know, this is legit, and they won via DQ. I can understand why Jim Ross would be kind of pissed at that.
I got a question.
But then it led to old man strength.
Yeah, Kevin Von Erich pretty much blocks the claw on Zima Ion, and the crowd mildly pops.
No, they ate that up.
Did they?
They were popping like shit.
Oh, the stream was kind of lagging at that part. Okay.
They ate that up.
Really?
They ate that entire match up. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, man, then I must have not been listening to that match.
You must have been hungover. Oh.
I must have been way too out of it. TNA Knockouts title match: Gail Kim versus Angelina Love. Holy fucking shit!
I had some good pizza.
So so let's get the bullshit storyline out of the way. The referee Stifler, whatever his fucking name is, he has a raging boner for Velvet Sky, or
I did
beautiful
too,
people in general. Earl Hebner came out pretty much saying that Stifler is not in the condition to referee this match. I don't know who booked Stifler to fucking referee these matches. You would think that messing up that one time, he shouldn't fucking do it. Oh, but wait, it's storyline wrestling, Greg. Yeah, that makes sense. So anyways, Earl Hebner comes in. He doesn't want Stifler to be, officiating this match because he gets distracted by Velvet Sky too easily. But Earl Hebner...
That's all I'm going to say throughout this entire match.
Earl Hebner takes a bump anyways, which
Because Earl Hebner.
which causes Gail Kim to sexually put Angelina Love into a roll-up pin. But Angelina Love counters for another roll-up, and Stifler jumps in and goes for the pin.
So even though he's kicked out, he... What?
Stifler could end up turning... We could end up getting a referee
turning
feud.
heel.
Yeah, we could end up getting a referee feud.
Oh,
No. No.
It's gonna end up being Brian Hebner versus fucking Stifler. You know,
Bound for Glory.
Yeah, Bound for Glory for like loser becomes a wrestler. I don't. Know.
In before
Winner flex
Stifler,
velvet match.
and before Stifler wasn't actually a wrestler.
I know Stifler has like minor wrestling ability. That's all I know. Angelina wins.
Isn't that what all refs are supposed to have?
Not really.
Refs don't need wrestling ability.
Look at the fat ref in Ring of
bump,
Honor.
Hey, you leave Pony Rumble alone.
We see Team 3D backstage talking about their segment earlier. Devon goes on to celebrate Father's Day with his kids. And Ray is going to destroy EC3.
Devon wanted to go celebrate Father's Day with his kids that probably aren't even his.
Are you just saying that because he's black?
Yes.
Ray tells the cameraman over my dead body and says that several times until the fans say it along with him. Ray says Ray says EC3 said those words on Impact. Ray says ECW signed his death warrant. What? I don't fucking understand.
Greg,
Ray cut a promo on EC3.
Greg, this is not the time to have a stroke, alright?
Texas Deathmatch, EC3 versus Bully Ray. Mike, since you are an advocate, not really, but since you are an advocate of death matches, what was your opinion on this death match?
For one, I hate death matches, and I hope they're just coming of all the earth.
But Japanese death matches, Mike.
I didn't even watch
There's
them.
that one guy who watches CCW in here. It's a weird thing.
I didn't watch Tournament of Death, alright? And I'm not a fan of those death matches either. So, there you go.
You didn't watch the dildo match, Mike?
It wasn't on pay-per-view.
Oh.
It was delayed. Delayed.
So, what'd you think of this death match?
It was good by watered-down deathmatch standards.
Would you even consider this a death match? Would you just say it was like a hardcore match?
It was a last man standing match.
They used a treat. Oh yeah, it pretty much was a last man standing.
That's all it is. It's a last man standing match, but with a different name for it.
They probably can't call it a last man standing. WWE probably has that
Yeah, they OW owns it.
trademarked.
They've done last man standing matches in TNA before and called it that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they're just. It's probably two things. They're trying to get that Texas pop, like they've been doing all fucking night.
Yeah.
And probably trying to make it not compared to the John Cena Bray Wyatt last man standing match, which was 10 times better.
There were two good spots. Correction. There was one good spot.
I was about to say, I didn't remember two.
I want to see if it's the same spot I'm thinking of.
The glass spot off the top rope.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was a good spot. You want to know a shitty spot?
The
The
finish?
cheese grater.
Oh, that too.
Bully Ray, I don't know where the fuck he got it.
It was under the ring.
Was
Walmart?
it? Well, Bully Ray had a cheese grater, and he was trying to go the CZW route. But besides of actually using the cheese grater, he kind of just pressed it against EC3's chest.
If it was going for the CCW spot, he would have got a sickle and tried to slit his throat.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean there was a lot of spots that could have been sick, but they ended up, feathering it pretty lightly. Near the end of the match, Bully had EC3 on 2 tables, which causes Dixie Carter to run out. She just tracks Bully Ray, and Bully Ray pretty much says, "I'm gonna kill you, bitch," very loudly, and chases Dixie Carter around the ring.
One day somebody's gonna yell that on television, and somebody's gonna not know it's part of the show, and they're gonna call the cops. Some old woman with her grandson is gonna hear that.
80s heat, Mike.
And she's gonna call what?
80s heat?
That's 80, I said.
I know, 80s heat.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s when everybody thought everything was so fucking real, and they tried killing the wrestlers after the shows.
Yeah, she's gonna call the cops, and the cops are gonna show up in the middle of a Bully Ray match and take him away.
So pretty much, when Bully Ray starts chasing Dixie around the ring, there's a weird, I'm guessing this is Dixie's way of taking a bump.
I can explain it for you. Dixie does a Luthes press to EC3 accidentally, and she's the one who gets knocked out.
Pretty fucking much. She runs into EC3, and EC3 kind of just spins her around and lays her down on the bottom, and Dixie sells it like she's fucking dead. Like, she's completely out of it. That causes Bully Ray to knock out EC3. Bully Ray puts Dixie onto the tables, and gets
takes
up.
forever.
Yeah, he takes fucking forever. EC3 comes from behind, hits him with the kendo stick, and right before Bully falls through the table, Rockstar Spud comes in, saves Dixie from the tables, and Bully Ray falls through 2 tables from the height of the apron and gets completely knocked out.
As in dead.
And this is from the same man who fell off a 15-foot ladder from the inside of the ring onto the outside of the ring through 6 tables and was still able to come up at the end of the match and still wrestle. Yeah. Good booking there, TNA.
And like I said, I think they were trying not to get any comparisons to Bray Wyatt and John Cena, but I'll make it for them. Bray Wyatt took a fastball special from steel steps
Yeah.
from the outside ring and got up at 9. Bully Ray fell through a table and just died.
I got a question though. Why does everybody have to compare WWE and TNA when they do things? It's annoying. Please stop.
Because it's right
Because
there.
Mike,
Easy to do.
Global Force Wrestling isn't here yet.
Every time I know we give TNA crap for
Because they're like the
rehashing
only
old
2
stuff.
wrestling companies in America, so might as well.
No, there's more than 2.
Yeah, but the 2 big ones. At least the ones on TV. So it's kind of easy to do.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to compare them every single second they do something.
But
It's so
That
easy.
can-
what's
that
the
gets annoying.
fun? What's the fun of that, Mike?
It gets annoying after a while. Like oh my god,
Oh, so is
TNA
being a negative Nancy, but look at you.
WWE does the superplex. TNA does the same thing. Oh my god, they copied WWE.
Well, it's not.
Oh my
it's
God.
not like
It's not like TNA didn't blatantly do that before.
it's not like TNA has been caught on the record of stealing storylines from WWE, and same thing with WWE. WWE has taken storylines from TNA in the past before. It's just kind of sometimes you gotta compare it because it's blatantly obvious when you look at it. Some of the other times you don't really like. I kind of disagree with Duck when he keeps on comparing this match to the Last Man Standing match between Wyatt and Cena because they were 2 completely polar opposites.
And the finish and some of the spots were completely different.
But I
I'm not
wouldn't.
saying they're the same freaking match, but you have to compare yourself to your competitor. Your competitor just had 2 guys kill themselves in a match exactly like this.
These were
And
2
you just do that at the
completely
finish.
different matches. There was just different stakes on the line. The matches just felt completely polar opposites from each other. While Cena Wyatt felt like a test of strength, this one just kind of felt like more of a who can beat the shit out of one another with using as many weapons and shit as possible before the crowd got bored. It just I don't think that's the best. That's the only option to start comparing the 2 matches. Just because they're semi-related because they're last man standing matches. But yeah, that's my take on it. James Storm versus Mr. Anderson.
Completely rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match was
like-
rushed.
Close to like 8 minutes.
I went to Taco Mesa right before this match started. When I came back, the main event was already starting.
Yeah, that match
You
was
missed nothing.
extremely rushed.
So anything from this match?
Oh yeah, the Dallas Cowboys were there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Cowboys.
Did they do anything?
Yep. James Storm flips them off multiple times and then spat beer at one of them. And the security railing, which already, like you can see, was broken in the Austin Aries Kenny King match because Aries ran through it and it fell. I don't think they knew what was happening.
Yeah.
And so the Dallas Cowboys knock over the barricade there, out almost the same spot. And then one of the guys goes to the ring where James Storm's about to hit Anderson with his bottle and then steals James Storm's bottle, and Anderson finishes off, and they all mob together for some reason.
So the Cowboys got involved in the match.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they were obviously paid to be there because the barricade was broken way before the match started, and they did that.
Alright, well, that's interesting. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're not going to get anything out of this anyways.
Nope.
Um,
It's obviously such a throwaway feud. Like, I just
George
watched.
Selvey? Is that his name?
I don't fucking
Mike,
know. They're
since you're the football guy?
Who?
George Selvey?
I wasn't paying attention to this segment.
Oh, okay. Mr.
they were,
Anderson
like
wins.
I said, you would recognize none of them even if you were a diehard Cowboys fan.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson wins. The Cowboys come to the ring and celebrate with Anderson. Steel Cage, Triple Threat, Austin Aries, Bobby Lashley, Eric Young, TNA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Only way to win is by pinfall or submission. Doesn't fucking care.
Pinball?
Pinball Wizard. No.
That's not
Pinfall
even
or
how it's
submission is the only way to win this match. Escaping the cage does not matter. So I don't know why this is a fucking cage match in the first place.
For one thing, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, how'd you guys like this main event? Main event worthy for a pay-per-view show?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's a couple sick spots that happened during this match. Eric Young hit a sick elbow from the top of the cage. You know, Aries, Eric Young picked up both Lashley and Aries for like,
A dual Death Valley driver.
yeah, that was cool.
Don't sound so enthused.
It's, like I said before, I'm not too sold on Eric Young being champion. The way they put the belt on him, the way they've started pushing him ever since then, I'm not sold.
Oh yeah, TNA storyline. You're not gonna get sold. They're really bad at doing things.
I was more sold when they were pushing Joe than they are pushing Eric Young.
Like I said, his title run is better than Chris Saban's.
That doesn't fucking mean anything, Mike!
You're complaining about somebody getting a title with no build-up. There's been plenty of champions who have gotten a title with no build-up. And they have that crappier reigns. At least his has been consistent. And he's defended the title more than once on television.
At least his matches are some of the better things TNA do, because
don't get me wrong. I like Eric Young. It's just the man's so old. Like, he's been there for.
They don't have too many young guys in TNA.
They do.
They do, but none of them got built up.
Eric Young, is kind of old. He looks old. Samoa Joe is, he's somewhat old. He's like 32, 33, something like that.
Eric Young looks old because he has that beard. That beard makes him look 10 years older.
And his fucking ugly-ass nipples, Chris Jericho nipples.
Why are you
and man nipples?
I'm telling you, man. When wrestlers have weird-looking nipples, it just looks like a double set of eyes to me.
Do you have Cesaro's screen capped on your lock screen on your phone or something?
No, those are not my favorite nipples.
Oh my god.
Okay, which ones are?
Well, Tori Wilson's, of course.
Oh,
no, we were going the dudes route because you're so obsessed with them.
Oh. Huh. What are my favorite male nipples?
Oh my god.
I have to think about that.
Anyways, yeah,
Since you brought that up 3 or 4 times.
I'm not too, I'm just not sold on Eric Young. Congrats, he's finally made it this far. They finally gave him a shot. But what did it take for him to finally get this shot? It took for 90% of the roster to leave. It took Samoa Joe getting injured, and it took for him actually having a TV show. It's not like, he's earned it.
That's the only reason why he's got the belt.
It's a lot of just, he was there at the right time. All the situations aligned at the perfect timing for TNA to be like, well, this is the only choice we got right now. So we're just going to run with it. That's my only problem with Eric Young. It's just his title, how he won it. He won it on a random episode of TNA. Everything just felt wrong. And it didn't feel natural. It didn't feel anything was going to work out from the start. And I still believe that.
In all fairness, that's how, I will say at least 40% of champions just happen. They're just in the right place at the right time. So that's kind of weird argument you have.
But this, I probably it's probably because of the way they put the title on Young is
No, it's
the
more
major problem I have. The fact that I wanted to see Joe as champion a hell of a lot more than anybody else. The fact that Joe probably deserved it a lot more than Young for how many times he was screwed out of winning the World Heavyweight Championship in the past, 6-7 years. How he had to take, a second sitting to a lot of the other main event guys just because they have a big name in some other fucking company. It just felt like Joe had so much more behind him, but then he went on to get injured, and they ended up putting the title on Eric Young on a random episode of TNA. It's the entire booking of everything. If TNA's booking didn't suck, I would have been perfectly fine with Eric Young as champion. If they made it feel natural, if they made it felt like he legitimately got his way to the main event and fought for it and beat Magnus on a big show that got a big reaction, a lot of it just felt like, oh, well, fuck, Joe's injured. What are we gonna do? Put the belt on Eric Young. He's got a TV show debuting in a couple months. We'll fucking do that. I was like, it doesn't seem good to me. It's the only thing that's really putting me off with this whole title reign.
Like I said, his reign has been consistent. It hasn't been a lackluster reign. He's actually done something with it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's done a lot.
I would say he's at least so far like twice as a better champion than what Magnus was.
Oh, because Magnus, every time he fucking defended the title, he had to win via shenanigans in some stupid way.
He had to win 15 via 15 people helping him.
Yeah. Let's be honest, Magnus's title reign was butchered from the beginning. I'm not gonna get into that again.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm still not sold on Eric Young. And I don't know what it's going to take me to get sold on Eric Young being champion, but as of right now, I care more about Sonata being X Division champion than fucking Eric Young being goddamn World Heavyweight champion.
It's just because he's Japanese.
No, I kind of liked his Wrestle 1 vignettes that they aired a couple weeks back, where he was like, I come from Japan, and the great Muta, he gave me his thumbs up, and he wants me to prove to America that I can be #1, and I could go back to the Japan and be a big star. Like, I love those fucking vignettes. Those are great. They were great fucking video packages that TNA put together for Sonata. And I think that was during when he had his best out of 5 series with Tigre Uno.
I got a question though. What happens if they decide to throw us all and they actually put the belt on Sonata?
I don't know. I don't know how I'd take that. They'd have to make him heel. They'd have to really like push the Japanese like anti-America thing.
That period, and that'd be better.
Yeah, like we'll see. I don't know anything else about Sonata, to be completely honest.
He's not really that good. I'll tell you that much.
I think he's alright. I just don't watch a lot of Wrestle 1.
I watched like a few matches he had in Wrestle 1, and I think like the only good ones I could find were against Yuji Nagata and Austin Aries when he went over there, but that's because of Yuji Nagata and Austin Aries more than what Sonata did.
Yeah. We'll see.
Quick note, Austin Aries also over in Japan.
I think, honestly, TNA needs to start hiring some more indie talent. They're in a bad position right now. Their roster is so thin. Like, everybody who's on this show, that's their fucking roster. I don't think there was one person missing that's actually on the roster. Maybe a couple of the knockouts, but like that's
Robbie E, Gunner, and Sam Shaw are on there.
Well, because Gunner and Sam Shaw are currently in the insane asylum doing stuff.
Wait, Gunner's in there too?
Gunner's trying to help Shaw. I don't fucking understand that. That's been like on and off as of recently. So yeah, there's our Slammiversary.
Well, they could be getting McIntyre, and that's all I know.
That's so up in the air. I could
And
see
I hope he doesn't.
I could see Jeff Jarrett throwing a bunch of money at McIntyre. I could definitely see that. Maybe Jinder Mahal?
No. Please don't take Jinder.
La 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 la.
Indian Mike!
I'm not even
What
saying for Jinder's sake, for my sake, so I don't have to watch him.
Well, what's wrong, Greg?
How about you be... I don't know.
La 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 la.
Anyways, that's our Slammiversary review show. I hope that sucked as... I hoped it sucked. I don't fucking
I hope
know.
your day is bad. I hope you feel horrible.
You guys just want to do Pop Off a Botch and end this? So
I
I
hope your
could...
mother got hit by a truck.
So I could actually work on this and get it up before I go to
Oh.
sleep.
I hope you sent in Bill's leg.
Oh, ZZW had their show yesterday, and Masana lost in the finals.
Oh, did he?
Yes, to Jun Kasai,
Oh, I don't
So
know who that
Jack-
is.
a guy from BJW,
Oh, okay.
Big Japan
Never heard of
Wrestling.
it.
Yeah, something like that.
But you know the funny thing is, he's the only Jappy to advance in the entire tournament. The other three got eliminated in the first round.
Wow.
Oh, and Drew Gulak was on the show.
Yeah!
Oh, hell, Gulak.
What was he doing?
He wrestled for the tag belts.
With who?
Niles Sozio
Oh, okay.
of the front, and they lost.
Was Pepper Parks on the show?
Nope.
Oh, all right.
It was a tag title match, 2 other matches that I didn't care about in the tournament.
Okay. Those are the only 2 people I give a shit in CZW. Pepper Parks and Drew Gulak.
The campaign for the Better Combat Zone.
Is failing.
Poor Drew
Quit.
Gulak.
Anyways, you guys want to do Pop, Flop, and Botch?
What if I
Sure.
say no?
Not too bad.
Yeah. Doug, since you want to be an asshole,
He wants to be
Okay.
anal about it.
you go first.
Pop goes to Coke. Flop goes to Mike.
Speak English, boy.
Botch goes to Mike being racist. Double Botch goes to Greg being double racist.
Double
Yeah.
racist. Does double racist mean I'm anti-racist?
No, it means you're so
when
racist, even the KKK is like, whoa, slow down.
Because wouldn't that be like a double negative?
No?
LOL thinking the KKK is going to stop you from being racist.
If I say chink
That's the
twice,
joke,
does that
Mike. That's
cancel out the
joke.
first chink?
Well,
What?
on that note,
Mike, Pop Off a Bunch.
my pop goes to the ladder match. My flop goes to the ending of the EC3 Bully Ray match. And my botch goes to Duck for thinking that you have to compare every single stipulation match because another company did it.
Guess what? That's what wrestling does.
No, that's what marks do.
Uh-huh. Okay, my pop goes to... I bought myself a PS4. Hells yeah. My
I
other
should
pop,
never use it ever again.
my other pop is we just installed a new modem and we upgraded to the turbo package. So
we should
I now
upgrade.
have internet that is worthy enough of me to possibly stream. So once I get my PS4 running, which should be in about a
You
week.
have it, you're just not gonna run it.
Which is in about a week. Cause I want to install a new hard drive into it. I'll probably start streaming some Killzone Shadowfall or some what do you call it?
Wolfenstein.
Not Wolfenstein. Infamous. Yeah, Infamous. I possibly may pick up either Resogun or Transistor, maybe. One of the indie games. I'm gonna be picking up a lot of indie games when they come out because I know Sony's coming out with a bunch soon. My flop goes to... There's more... Oh no, another pop. I'm sorry. A lot of wrestling to watch. A lot more is still to come. We got Ring of Honor next week. We will be covering that show. Mike.
I know we will.
And also You know, we have Dominion coming up. We will be covering that show as well. Mike.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a hint.
Just for that, I'm definitely not watching it.
Fuck you. We also have Money in the Bank coming up at the end of the month. Remember, that is our last show for the summer. We will be back after Money in the Bank for SummerSlam. So we won't be covering Battleground. Thank fucking God. And my flop goes to having to do this podcast and missing Game of Thrones because it means that to stay up longer and watch Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
The stress! The stress! Oh! My pop! I have another pop!
My fucking god.
My other pop is I partied hard. Harder than I usually party. And,
Yeah, it caused you to,
which
podcast up on Friday.
which leads to my flop. I probably had my second worst hangover this morning. Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad hangover.
But it was your second worst?
Second worst. Because I don't have a lot of hangovers. My first hangover was bad. But that was because I downed a bunch of Jaeger and Tito's vodka in one night. And
Why not have a Coke?
because I'm not weak like you.
Smart?
Anyways, my botch goes to, I don't know. What did my botch go to? What does my...
Your first one or this one?
You're not putting the podcast up on time.
That and, I don't know, me tripping over my words a bunch. I've been doing that recently. I don't know why.
You're about to have a stroke.
It's a lot of slurring. I probably get that from my parents a lot. But yeah, I slur too much, and I need to fix that. I'm thinking of probably taking some public speaking classes so I can improve on my speech.
It won't help.
Probably will. I heard a lot of people say it helps. So I may take a shot at that next semester. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Remember to go check out twitter.com/argofwrestling if you want to get into contact with us. If you want to join the podcast for some discussion about some other wrestling. Remember to go check out Senshudo.tv. That is SENSHUDO. If you're fans of New Legacy or It's Raining Men, remember to go check out Senshudo.tv, the home of both Arc of Wrestling and New Legacy. A bunch of great casters over there. You could recommend David West, one of our good pals over here. He's probably going to be joining us for a couple shows here in the future, hopefully. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.